Hello guys, this is Ty, aka the Flip Man. Today's video is a testimonial of a student from Dallas, Texas that made 18 big ones on his first deal. I really appreciate him coming on board to tell his story. Hopefully it'll inspire you all to get in the game, whether you deal with me or not. But you can take advantage of my 100 plus videos on YouTube. It's at the channel Teach Me Flipping. Just do a search on YouTube for Teach Me Flipping, all one word. That's the free and slow way. If you want to fast forward things with a coach, you can go to junkers101.com and get the courses on wholesaling houses and wholesaling apartments with me personally as your coach. Enough of the advertisement. Let's get on to why we are here. Lee, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. Ready to go.
Okay. Well, I was going to D-Town.
It's hot.
All right, all right. Well, what I want to do is basically, man, everybody got their own story on why they got interested in real estate, how they ran into a meathead like myself, and so enough of me talking. If you could, I know we're having a little volume trouble, so you can speak up a little bit. But if you could just go, number one, tell how it all started for you as far as what got you interested in real estate.
Uh, I was up one night. I said probably about 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I was like on probably World Star or something like that, and I came across an ad where a guy said he made 10 grand off flipping the house. So I was like, when I initially saw it, I was like, yeah, whatever. So I went back on some other website, but I was looking at blogs and videos, but the whole time I was like, he said he made 10 grand, but I flipped the house, no cash, no credit, because I had never heard nothing like that. If I did, I probably would have been doing it. So I said, so I was curious. So I said, let me go back and check out the video. So I went back, I checked out the video, and I said probably 2 times. I was like, okay, it sounds like it's legit. So what I did was I Googled wholesaling houses. I started getting more and more information about wholesaling houses. I'm like, hey, probably something I can do. You know what I'm saying? Considering the job that I'm working at, like I don't like to work with people, and I got a problem with authority. That's just so. When I went on YouTube, that's when I seen a lot of your videos. I just I, I started out educating myself on okay. For a while, I educated myself and I kept reading things, kept reading. Can you hear me? I got lost sound with you.
Yeah, I can hear you. I just muted mine. I can hear you. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
okay. Yeah, and I started reading a lot on it. I started watching more videos, and I started looking at different. I seen you on there. I seen a guy named Mark Whitten, like flip her, like flip house like the hair on fire. So as I got to going into it, I'm like, okay, let's get this. I'm gonna try to give it a shot. But at first, like for a while, I'm not gonna lie, I procrastinate a lot. Like I sat on my ass for like at least 5 or 6 months, really just looking at courses and reading and not doing anything. So when they tell you like it's true, like you gotta take action. That's number one. Like you can buy all the courses you want, you can get all the information you want, but it's a learn as you go process. When you get out there, it's things that come up that you just got to learn as you go. And I remember the first time I hooked up with Flip, I wasn't even a student yet, and I ended up getting the house under contract for too much. I ended up getting the house under contract for too much, and I didn't have a mentor or nothing. But I was like, this guy got his phone number. I'm just gonna call. So I called you up, and I was like, hey man, my name Lee. I'm from Dallas. I just gotta ask you a question. I like, man, I got this house over. I got it under contract. I don't even think I can say it like I don't know what I'm gonna do. And you was like, say, man, like, hey, if he try to renegotiate the contract, if he renegotiate, that's cool. I was like, what if I can't? I done signed the contract. What if I can't get the money to buy? Cause I ain't got 15,000 to get this man for this house. And that's when you were like, hey, man, can't come up with it. Once the contract is over with, he keep his house and you go your way. And I was like, okay, cool. So I talked to the guy, renegotiated, but I just couldn't. I don't know. I just couldn't get it at the price to where I was able to sell it. So it became like a waste of my time. So eventually, I parted ways with the guy. He was mad because he felt like he had enough planned the trip to Disney World and everything. Because he's thinking the house for the sale. I'm talking a good game to him. So I was like, hey, man, in this neighborhood, for what you want for it, they just not going to buy it over. Like, want too much for this one. Like, these people next door selling theirs for six to seven. But I got from under that. I was like, okay, where do I go from here? So that's when I started the bird dog thing. I started telling my friends, like, hey, y'all know somebody, y'all see houses, just write down the address. If I get it on the contract, if I sell it, hey, man, I'm gonna give y'all $1,000. I was like, I'm gonna give y'all $1,000 for it. So I had this one friend that he had been calling my at the time I was married. So he was every time he seen my wife, he was like, we went to school together. He was like, tell Lee to call him, tell Lee to call him. But I never did call him. I was like, man, I'm trying to get some money. I ain't got time to be, what I'm saying, talking to old friends and all that. So it was Easter Sunday, and I ended up going by this park, and I ended up running into him. And we talked for a while, and I was telling him about wholesaling, like, hey, you get this real estate thing, man. Because he was when we was in school, he was good at promoting and marketing. So I was like, hey, I probably can use him. Now I want to talk to him, So I was telling him about it, you know what I'm saying? So he was like, man, I said, if you know anybody, if you see houses, just write down the address, give it to me, and I go from there. So he told me, he said, man, I got this lady, you know what I'm saying? One of my mom's friends, she got a house she trying to sell. So I was like, okay, give me her number, have her talk to me. So for a while, I say for about a week and a half, we didn't, the woman didn't call or anything like that. So he ended up giving me her number. I called her. She was like, yeah, I got this house. She had this house that she hadn't been, it was vacant for 3 years. So her husband ended up passing, and she just left the house. I'm talking about furniture and everything. She just left the house. So I got to talking to her. And at the time, I had like one of my best friends, which I had my best friend doing business with me. Because he used to work for a mortgage company, but he got fired. And I wired down. But then I just thought maybe he knew another side of wholesaling that I didn't. But, so he was good at negotiating. So this is what I did. I had him. I said, okay, I was at work. I said, call her to see how much she wants for the house. It's your job. Call her to see how much you want for the house. I don't like to talk to people, you know what I'm saying? That's just not me. I'm not good at talking to people. So I'm going to let him do that. And I do the leg work. So I get out of work. I call him up. I like, say, how much you want for the house? He's like, oh, I ain't talked to her yet. I'm going to call her, So I like, okay. Don't worry about it. So I ended up getting on the phone. I called her. I negotiated. She wanted to sell the house for $20,000. And she was so motivated. She was like, hey, I'll write it on a piece of paper and you can sign it. So I write on a piece of paper, you can sign it, and we can go from there. I said, okay, cool. That's how we're gonna go with it. I said 20,000. She was like, yeah, 20,000. So I'm calling him to let him know, hey, I got the house. She's gonna sign for 20. I'm gonna meet up with her, and we're gonna fill out the contract. He was sending me the voicemail. He wasn't answering the phone. So what he eventually did, he called her after I called, and he ended up offering her. He was like, well, we can buy the house for 25. So he done gave away $5,000 that quick. So he called me up. He like, hey, call me back. He texted me. I'm mad because I was trying to tell him. So he tell him, call me back. So I called him back. I was like, what's up? He says, hey, man, I got it. She gonna sell the house for 25. I was like, who gonna sell the house for 25? Like the lady, she gonna sell the house. I'm like, man, that's why you should have picked your phone up. Like, I had her at 20. She was gonna sell it for 20. And while I'm on the phone with him, she called me. You know, I was like, hold on, listen up. She clicked over, I talked to her. She like, yeah, I talked to your partner, your friend. He offered me 25. And I was like, well, hey, if he say 25, 25 it is. Like, that's just $5 grand just blew out the window. And in my head, I was like, he just don't know. He done gave away $5 grand of his money. So to make a long story short, okay, he was so anxious. He was so anxious. He was trying to get some money, fast money. So he was kind of like pressuring her to sign the contract. Okay, when we gonna meet up and sign the contract? When we gonna meet up and sign the contract? And he had a controlling wife and so forth and so on. So to make a long story short, I ended up having to cut him out the deal because he actually blew the whole deal because she actually called me just cussing. Like, I don't know who y'all are. And y'all trying to pull some shake stuff and I don't know what's going on and I don't fool with middleman. I'm talking about, and I'm like, whoa, like hold on, hold on. I'm like, this who you talking to? Like, hey, it's your house. You want to sell it? You want to sell it? Because at the end of the day, like my time is more valuable than a dollar. So if you want to sell it, you can. If you don't, I don't want to waste your time. I don't want my time to be wasted. So we end up, I calm it down. She just, hey, I just want to deal with you. I said, okay, that's fine. I said, from start to finish, it's just gonna be me and you. We're gonna ride this thing out. So when I initially met up with her, all she wanted was, earn this money. You can get with $10, $20. But I had already told her, I was like, well, just bring me. I'm trying to get me something to drink. She like that. She wanted some alcohol. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna do you right. You know what I'm saying? What you want? You want some Budweiser? I'm gonna bring you everything. As long as you sign this contract, I'm gonna hook you. I'm gonna get you right. I'm gonna get you your Newports. I'm gonna get you your Budweiser, and I'm gonna put a little change in your pocket. I went over. I had a little 6-pack. Had a pack of Newports. You know what I'm saying? I had about $25 earnest money. Had my contract. And what it was, and it's crazy because she actually up and left this property and she never went back in the property. I'm talking about for 3 years after her husband died, she literally walked away from the property and never stepped a foot back in it. The first time her going back in the house was when I initially, but she didn't have a car, so I had to pick her up. We went to the house. They had boarded it up, and I took the board off of it. That was her first time walking back into the house that day. And she had, and I got a deal on top of a deal. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can tell when somebody's extremely motivated. I'm talking the house was pretty much, all you needed was cosmetic, carpet and paint. Carpet and paint. So the house is pretty much in tip top shape.
Well, how did you figure out what the ARV was on it?
What I did was I went and pulled some. See, I used him for that. Like my friend, he was good. He worked at a mortgage company. So he was like, yeah, man, this house is worth about 80. So we pulled the comps. The house was worth about, at that time, I said about 85 or 90. But the last time she had got it appraised, it was about at 110. So once we pulled the comps up, and it was a corner lot. So that's what made it more sweet. It was a corner lot, and it had a big backyard. So we pulled the comps up on the house and okay, I see this house gonna go for at least 85 or 90. You know what I'm saying? In tip top shape. And it didn't need much done to it. When I went in the house with her, she was like, she was kind of emotional at the time. And like one thing that I can, I want to say to a lot of the students or people who trying to wholesale house, like, we are human. So when you see people going through a situation like that, it's okay to ask them, like, are you okay? And just make them feel like you just not about the money. If you let a person know that you're human and you really care about the situation that they're going in, you have a better chance of them signing their contract with you because this is a competitive. The wholesale houses, it's very competitive. You can just
That's just simple. What you're saying is just building rapport. I done did a bunch of deals on just me, like you say, just finding out about them and listening to them more than anything. just listening to the person and see what their level of motivation is. It goes a long way, like you say.
Yeah, they once it's like you want to make a person feel comfortable with you. That's the first thing. If a person doesn't feel comfortable with you, it's hard for them to trust you. But once you feel that comfort level up with them, let them know, hey, I understand what you're going through. And I even asked her, like, are you sure you want to get rid of this property? She was like, yeah. So we went back, we sat down, I had my contract. So make sure you keep your contract with you because you want to always take advantage of that moment. This lady here, I'm telling you, she was up and down. She had like 4, 5 different personalities. One minute she was crying, next minute she was cussing, next minute she was laughing. So I wanted to take advantage of that moment right then and there. We sat down, she signed the contract. And once she signed the contract, like I was like it was a breath of fresh air. So once I got this particular property under contract, the first thing I did was I got some of my bandit signs. And I know a lot of contractors go to like the Home Depots on Saturday mornings because they have a lot of you know, properties they want. So I had like 3 bedroom, 2 bathroom house in Garland, cosmetic, and I put them at like 4 or 5. I said I went to about 6 different, 3 Home Depots and 3 Lowe's. I put the sign. I said probably about 6 o'clock that morning. When I made it home by 7 o'clock, pulling in my driveway, I got my first phone call. Somebody wanted to buy the property. From that point on, like that, after the first guy called, calls was just coming in. Hey, I'm calling about this property, And I literally I found the buyer of this property within 4 days. Now it was my first deal, and I experienced like even when I went to the title company, because boys like title company, I googled like best title company in my area. I seen which one that do double close and wholesales. And that's how I found out my title company. So if you guys want to look for a good title company, just Google y'all area, the title company that do wholesaling, double closing, whatever you're trying to do with real estate. And I ended up, and it's crazy because I met a lady there. It was my first time. I'm walking in the title company. I didn't know what I was doing, but I kind of learned from the first contract that I had with the guy that I got 15,000 that it didn't go through. I learned a lot from that. Even though it didn't go through, I learned a lot. So I took the title. I had to pay like $100 to get the title search done on it. And she taught me a lot too. I took the same one-page contract that Ty had. I went over to my sister's house. I printed the contract out. The same one. I'm taking that one-page contract. It's like he said. It's one page. It's understandable. It's self-explanatory. You can't go wrong with a one-page contract, and it's not intimidating. That's the good thing about it. People don't get intimidated by the contract. So I took it to the title company. At first, I was in there shaking out because I was trying to not make it seem like I didn't know what I was doing. I was trying to make it seem like, okay, I do this all the time. This is just my first time coming to this title company. But man, I was nervous, but you don't be. I mean, don't be nervous the first time doing. Don't be nervous, but the most important thing is to take action. Like you can sit behind a computer, you can look at testimonies, you can read blogs, you can read emails, but until you get out and start doing this stuff, hey, it took me a year before I actually got up and started putting out abandoned signs and sending yellow letters off and things like that. But all that it paid off. It paid off because what I was making in 1 year, it pretty much covered what I was making in 1 year out of one check. So it's possible. You just got to get up. You got to do it. Like every take advantage of all the free videos. Just it's possible. Like take advantage of all the free
What
videos.
Yeah, what would you say? You're in Dallas. That's a huge market. Obviously, there's a lot of competition there. Uh, you know, uh, I guess what you figured out. I actually been to Dallas before, but uh, all areas of Dallas won't allow bandit signs. So obviously direct mail works, and but you have to figure out what I try to stress to people. Everybody, I was talking to a couple of moments ago, and I'm gonna call them back here in a minute. But um, uh, they say bandit signs are illegal. They're legal everywhere. All cities have laws on the books, but normally, and I don't know any other way to put this, but normally in the lower price houses or the what would I call it, the blue collar areas, it's probably where you can get away with bandit signs. So that means that's probably where those deals will come from, which is fine. Some people are uncomfortable with dealing in those areas. If you are, then so be, just go direct mail. But but you're leaving a lot of money on the table by not doing that, because nothing is more effective than bandit sign, just because of the number of eyeballs that you can capture on a day-to-day basis, just in one intersection, not including what you would get away with, multiple intersections in a certain area or part of your town. So uh, if you could just explain, I know you mentioned to me because you hadn't really called me. You know what I'm saying? You're similar to myself. You took the information and ran with it. You called me the other day. I hadn't heard from you in, I guess, over a year, right at a year. You know what I'm saying? So, but just tell them what your day-to-day activity is like, because you're doing this full time, if I remember correctly, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, let me bag up a little bit. I forgot about that. Yeah, I actually signed up for at the time. Tyler said he had like he walked you through your first deal. It's just one deal, and I'm done with you. You know what I'm saying? At the time, because I didn't really want to. I didn't want to. I'm like, dang, I want to pay like this 600. Well, he had it. He had it. I caught because normally I'm not online like that. I caught him like on the last day of the deal. It was like, hey, I walked you through this one deal. It was like $107. And after the day, it's gone. And I signed up for it. I'm like, I'm gonna take this, you know. And I took the 107, but actually, I paid for the one on one, the one deal. I think I called Todd at one time, but I actually kind of, because it's pretty it's pretty self-explanatory. I'm the type of person, I'm like this. I try to figure things out on my own. Then if I get stuck or if I'm confused, then I call you. So I really I really blessed Ty that day. You know what I'm saying? I really just gave him $100. You know?
Hey, what hey, oh, you funny. Hey, hey, let me ask you this. Like a lot of people want to know, most people that are doing this, they doing it to quit their jobs. And that's going to be different for everybody. It took me 3 years to come to that point. Whereas with you, but I didn't make that I didn't make that much money. Well, it was a lot of money to me at the time. It was $2,500. But you made, it was 18,000 if I'm correct, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that a lot of people, it take a long time to make that kind of money in your hand. So I guess it's relative to how much you're already making on your job versus what your first check or two may be to give you the decision. Hey, I know this is real. I see what type of money can be made. But with you, it was pretty much you. How long did it take before you made that decision?
Uh, Actually, I had a like I was planning on quitting my job earlier because I was working at the time. I was working at two jobs. I was working for the county, which I had been there for over 10 years, and I was working at FedEx. I was driving forklifts there. So before I got into the real estate thing, I was like, okay, I'm gonna work hard now while I'm young, and I can just relax. But I got two kids, so it was taken away from my family. So I'm like, okay, this is not the route. So then I eventually, you know what I'm saying, I ended up having knee surgery and things like that. And it's crazy because it's like when I had knee surgery, I've been on the job for 10 years and they denied me everything. You know what I'm saying? You know how that makes you feel. I never took leave. So I've been working for y'all for over 10 years, and then I go out on leave, and y'all did not need everything. So I'm pretty much sitting at the house, not getting the check. And, and at that point, it was like, okay, well, I know now that this ain't gonna cut it. You know what I'm saying? Like, ain't nobody gonna appreciate you like you gonna appreciate yourself. If you can get up early, and this is how I look at it. Everybody not like this. I'm just ambitious. You know, so I was like, why get up at 5, 6 in the morning to make somebody else rich? And I can get up at 5, 6 in the morning and make myself rich. You can get up at 5, 6 in the morning, do it for somebody else. You can do it for yourself. No, this is how I look at it. You know what I'm saying? And back to like the marketing thing, like with the banning signs, like direct mail and all that, you get a faster response with with the banning signs. You get a faster response. Like you might you want to do direct mail, yellow letters, yeah, that's all. Do all that, but banning signs, like Ty say, banning sign. You can put up a banning sign, and then within 15 minutes, you can be getting your first call. You just gotta be ready for it. But banning signs is number one. Drive for dollars, direct mail, but banning signs. Get them banning signs out there. It's hard getting up to go do it. That's the only thing about it. You're not gonna want to do it, especially when you find yourself.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
gonna want to do it, but hey, hard work. Hard work it eventually pays off. But that's the first thing, getting that phone ringing. And for the first, I say for the first 5 or 6 months, I that's the part that I was really missing. I just thought I could do this big. I heard Ty and a lot of other guys say, "Hey, you're not in the real estate business. You're in the marketing business. No one knows what you're doing. How you expect your phone to ring?" So that's the main thing. Get out there and market. Get your banner signs. I mean, do whatever you gotta do to let people know. You see me, I got a shirt, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do to let people know. Try to get your phone ringing, get your phone ringing, and everything else come natural from there. Just don't be too salesy when you talking to these people. Just act like yourself. Because people can pick up on it when they feel like you're not fake or ain't none of us perfect. So get out there, market, soon your phone ring, pick the phone up, and go from there. But man, it's real, but you gotta take action. You gotta take action.
Well, man, I really appreciate, man. I know I done had you up here about 30 minutes. I'm glad you were able to come on and share your story. I don't do a lot of these, when I hear somebody, I pick and choose on them. Because at the end of the day, you can hear all the testimonials, like you say. You have all the information. You sit there and watch video, read books, listen to tapes, CDs, whatever. It's all worthless unless you put it into action. I know people are afraid to make mistakes, but that's the great thing about wholesaling. Like you made it, technically, you made a mistake on your first contract with the 15,000. Like I told you, dude was pissed, but in reality, yeah, you can be sued for anything, but it ain't gonna mean he gonna win, cause once the contract expires, that's the purpose of the earnest money is they keep it. Now I know people will dispute that, but hey, I ain't it ain't I ain't never paid no money I don't know nobody have. You can't make somebody buy a house. That's no different. If you go to a mortgage company, they tell you your finance, and for whatever reason, company policies change, they find something on your credit, I say, oh, we can't do this loan now. Well, so what? So the seller gonna make you buy the property, and you ain't got the money, So not that you're trying to defraud people, but stuff happens. That's the business. But anyway, man, anything else you want to share before I wrap this up?
Yeah, just to tell you, just stay with it because like my first deal, I can honestly say it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody look at how you made 18,000 off your first deal, but I can say I went through a lot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like this deal, like by her husband, by the woman husband passed. We had to get death certificate. Like she didn't have anything. Like this lady didn't have anything. So a lot of stuff up front, I kind of paid out of my pocket. Death certificate. We had to, go to downtown and Like I went through a lot, you know what I'm saying, on my first deal. So every deal not gonna be in and out, but you stick with it, it'll pay off eventually. Cause I got the house under contract for 25. Man, I had a buyer in 4 days. In 4 days, willing to buy for 43. I wanted 45 for it. I was like, well, and it's crazy because he will, because I told the guy, you know what I'm saying, I was showing him the house. You know, a lot of these guys, they gonna make it seem like he was looking like I was showing him some trash. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, man, I know he buying a house in way worse condition than this because you got your AC unit. You know what I'm saying? The house is in tip top shape. But he came and just looked at the house like I was showing him like some pure garbage. But I knew he was doing it because he wanted to talk me down on my price. Like, I've been doing this for too long. So I made him think that
Yeah.
he was like,
How much were you advertising it for? What were you telling them?
I was advertising it for 45.
Okay, so you only came down 2 grand. That was
Only
great. That was great.
came in 2 grand. But he was, I knew I had a good house, and I knew the house was worth 85, 80, 85, and I'm advertising for 45. I'm like I said, just strictly cosmetics, no roofing, no nothing. And I said 45. I brought him in. I showed him the house. I called him out. Actually, I went and meet the guy, and I showed him pictures of the house. And at the time, I'm new to it, so when I signed the contract, no, I take that back. We went to go see the house. I'm showing him the house. So as he's walking around the house, he's looking at the house like, they gonna try to find things that's wrong, So he's like, hey man, like, I can't give you 45. Like I was like, and I made it seem like I had been doing it for so long. I was like, man, you getting a good deal here. Like, I want, I'm kind of upfront. When I feel like you kind of trying to take advantage of it, I was like, hey, well, I got somewhere I got to be in about 30 minutes. So, you're not going to buy the house. I got a guy coming here from Houston this weekend, and he want to buy the property. So he was like, and once I said that, he like, no, come here, buddy. Let me talk to you. You want to put his hands around? I was like, oh, no. So what it was, this how he got me because I wasn't gonna come down off that 45. For one reason, I knew it was a good price, and I knew that he was, he kind of was in, he kind of was in. I felt like he was insulting me. Look at the half like so. But he was. What got me was he like, hey man, I got this guy because these guys from overseas, so they got good money. I got this guy from overseas that's willing to buy. He want to spend $300,000 on property. You give me this house for 43. We buy from you all the time. I say you can have it. You can have it. Come on, let's go sign the contract. You can have it. You're 43. Cool. And I was still new to that because I ended up for earnest money deposit. I only charged them $500, and even he was like, 500, like most guys charge us like 5,000. And I tried to play it. I'm like, nah, I know I'm kind of, y'all good people, y'all good with me. So I didn't know what I was doing. I just got 5,000. I done charged me at 500. But at the end of the day, like, I took it to the title company. We get back on track. I took it to the title company, and I went through so much with this deal, man. Y'all wouldn't believe. Like I took it to the title company, and the day we were supposed to close on the property, his wife went in labor, and I wanted that check so bad, and I was like, what? He was like, yeah, my wife in labor, man. I can't come to the, and I was like, And then I had this lady over here. I'm talking about all she. I had to buy so many packs, 6 packs, and and packs of Newports. Excuse me. I bought so many 6 packs of Newports. I'm talking about from the because it took me about I say from start to finish, it took about 3 or 4 weeks. But to get the house under contract and find a buyer, it only took me 4 days. I got the house under contract, got a buyer in 4 days. But for it to actually close, it took like another 3 weeks because it had things going on with her husband had passed. You had to get like people to sign like affidavits saying they knew the husband. You had to get their certificates. And this woman didn't have anything. I paid everything out of my pocket. And every time she needed some cigarettes, I got her cigarettes. When she needed her, I got her. And it's crazy because when I kind of built a relationship with her, she ain't gonna feel like on hard times or whatever. But once we closed, once he guy finally showed up, took the check up to the title company, and the title people called me and said, "Lee, the checks are ready. Just pick them up off the green table." And I said, "Okay, cool." As I'm getting dressed, the lady called back and said, "Hold on, something else came up." She was like, "We just found out that she has another lien on this property. Your check is still the same, but we can't issue out the checks right now." And I'm like, "Man, they was like, no, your check is the same. We got your check. We got your check." He was like, "But we got to take some more money out of her check because of taxes and liens. I make sure I told him, that you got any taxes or liens, it's going to come out of your property." So they actually had to cut her another check. Go pick the checks up. And actually, when we went to cash the checks, like I did so much with this lady, she actually gave me $100 when she cashed her check. She gave me $100 out of her money. I'd already made 18. She gave me $100 out of her money just for being, I guess, for supporting her habit. She gave me $100 of her money, and everything that was in the house, she told me I can keep it. So I ended up, I made money off it. I had $400 fish aquariums. I had a garage full of tools, ladders. Man, it was hard though. I'm not gonna sit up there and make it seem like my first. Even the lady at the title company, she said, "Baby, I know it's your first deal." She said, "But deals after this gonna come a lot easier for you because of what you went through with this deal and that woman." Because I'm telling you, she 1 minute she cussing, and I was like, "Girl, have a cigarette." But man, like man, you gotta stick with it. Get out there, take action, get the bandit signs out, and I get with Ty, man. Get with Ty. Like Ty say, I be looking online and I be looking at Ty like Ty trying to make money, everything. Every time something pop up, he going to sell gold, he going to buy gold, he going to ass, he doing the real estate thing, man. Get with Ty, man. And just like that,
Hey man, I really appreciate that, man. But Lee, I really appreciate you coming on, man. Hopefully, this is inspiring for people that are people that are trying to get in. Gonna just mention again, obviously you can take advantage of the 100 plus videos on YouTube and the courses if you need a coach at junkers101.com. You can call or text me at 205-492-3425. Lee, I really appreciate it, man. Boom, it's a wrap.
all right, Ty, man, I appreciate you. Boy, go out. I just want to tell everybody to get out there, take action. I didn't want to speak too much on how I went through the deal and raw through the deal. I said a lot of testimony. My thing is I want to motivate people. So I was right where y'all was. I was right where y'all was at, watching people talk. So I'm just motivating y'all, man. I grew up in the hood, and I took action, and here I am now. I'm just out there grinding. I don't like putting out bandit signs, but hey, this gonna give me a check. I'm willing to do it, and I can work at my own beat. Just get out there and take action. And if you in Dallas, we can get out there together. You know what I'm saying?
All right, man. Well, hey, I appreciate it, man, and I'll be talking to you.
All right, Ty, man.
All right,
Appreciate
thanks.
it.
All right.